What's up, Guardians? Welcome to another video about Destiny. I'm Roman, and today we're not gonna see any gameplay at all. Instead, we're gonna look at a piece of paper on which I want to illustrate to you how the main mechanics in the Crucible work. For instance, we're gonna look at how these spawns generally work. That way, you'll get to know and learn where you should go in a match of control, for instance, and where you perhaps should not go. I chose a match of control because we've got reference points. The zones A, B, and C serve as reference points, pretty much as outer perimeters of a map in general. So you're gonna learn how the spawn works, where you should and where you shouldn't go. And if you keep those tiny little things in mind, I'm sure you're gonna beat your opponents by quite a margin. So if we look at the piece of paper and try to illustrate a match of control, you're gonna see that we've got three zones, A, B, and C. Now, your team is gonna spawn somewhere near A, whereas your opponents are gonna start somewhere near C. And now what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is you've got some teammates that are gonna go toward A, maybe some who are gonna go toward B, and some are going to go toward the middle or even toward C. What's the enemy going to do? Pretty much the same. They're going to go and capture zone C, which is in their proximity. They're going to go toward B, and some might also try to push toward A. Now, what are good movements in the very beginning? You may attempt to get two zones, zone A and B, because if you get a kill, you'll get 200 points, whereas the enemy with just one zone up here, zone C, is gonna get 100 points per kill. So you'll score more points, and yeah, you're pretty much gonna win that way. So what's actually a good way? Zone B, to cap zone B, is obviously very good in the beginning, because this zone, all zones actually, are neutralized in the very beginning, so it doesn't take very long to capture. Once a zone is captured, you have to neutralize it, which takes time. So if you can get these zones easily in the beginning, that's very good. And now what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen is you're already here in the middle. Let's call this the middle section. Pretty much that. So this is your home, your base. This is the middle section, and this is the enemy base. Now you've already got teammates all over this place. They may have won the battle here, lost it at C. So you've got teammates posted around here. And if you die in a battle, you're gonna spawn somewhere in your base again, whereas the enemy team is gonna spawn in their base. Now, a match of control is also about map control. You don't really want to control all zones, because what's gonna happen is if your teammates push too much up here, perhaps capture zone C, the enemy is gonna spawn in your base or in the middle section somewhere, and your teammates are gonna be flanked. It's gonna be tough to survive in those situations. The enemy would capture zone A, perhaps zone B, and your map control, the middle section, your home base, is lost. So what you want to achieve, and this is enough, even the Crucible master, the Lord Shax, he also mentions that holding all three zones is pretty damn difficult. Two zones are enough, and perhaps we can look at this in detail. So your team, if you hold A and B and don't push too much towards C, you'll have this part of the map under control, which is, say, pretty much 65%, whereas the enemy only has like 35%. So they're always gonna spawn inside C, near C somewhere. And let's say you've got like 3 pathways, main pathways which the enemy can come through, and you can control these pathways. It's rather easy. You'll have teammates who can, yeah, pretty much control these pathways, and the enemy cannot access zone B, and they can't access A at all either. So the probability of where an enemy is gonna come through is not very high. Is pretty high because they don't have many alternatives, so they can't really get out of their spawn at all. You'll be able to team shot them, do damage with your teammate, a partner, shoot them down quickly, maybe hard scope a door or whatever. It's pretty easy for you. The game is not hectic at all compared to if you capture zone C and the enemy spawns near A. Your teammates and you're gonna be flanked, your snipers are gonna be shot from behind, etc, etc, and you do not want that. Now, how does the enemy get out of the spawn at all? Perhaps with a super, a golden gun, a sunbreaker, whatever. They might be able to push out and gain some territory. And what you need to be aware of is that once you've got a super around here, a golden gun, sunbreaker, whatever, do not push in too much. It happens quite often, and your teammates are gonna follow, and what's gonna happen is that the spawn flips. The enemy is gonna spawn in your base or around B, and they're gonna cap A, they're gonna cap B, and the map control is lost. So be aware of that. Do not push in too much. Try to really control a lot of territory, more than half of it, and the enemy is really not gonna get out in many ways out of their spawn. So you'll have an easy life and you're gonna win. You're gonna win big time. You might get a mercy rule, you'll get lots of strength of the wolf marks, perhaps, which are 10 kills without a teammate dying, and your opponents are gonna have a very hard life. So this is pretty much it about control. The same mechanics apply for Clash. Perhaps in a 3v3 mode is a little bit different because, yeah, you've only got 2 teammates plus yourself, and you can't really control too much. So 2 enemies might spawn near C and 1 might spawn somewhere near A. It's not that easy to control the map, but in a 6 versus 6 mode such as Control or Clash, which is, yeah, pretty much the same except that there are no zones, you want to control more than half of the map. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video helped you to improve your gameplay and to really know where you should and where you shouldn't go in a match of Control or in the PvP in general. So leave a comment below, ask questions if there's anything that you like to have place more emphasis on, or if you've got other questions about the Crucible, PvP, whatever. I'm looking forward to answering whatever you would like to know. And yeah, as always, subscribe to my channel to stay tuned for more stuff like that, PvP content, etc. I greatly appreciate your support as always. You've been great. Thank you very much.